You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, much like there is an overreaction Monday in the NFL, there's an overreaction to Week 1, generally speaking. But I don't think this is one of those times, all right? I think we've got plenty of data now. Lots of statistics to look at, and we're not going to look at them all, but we've got plenty of statistics to look at when it comes to one Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. And the fact is, Cleveland Browns fans are waking up in a world this morning where they paid basically $250 million fully guaranteed to a quarterback that could not hit water if he fell out of a boat. All the while getting rid of a former quarterback that has absolutely balled out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's also one piece in all this for the Browns that I think was really overlooked, and that's Alex Van Pelt. He knows how to work with quarterbacks. He was a quarterback's coach forever, was the OC for Cleveland. Yeah, he didn't call the plays, except in a few choice games. One of them, I think he dropped 40 on the Steelers during a playoff game when Stefanski had COVID. But he's now with the Patriots, and the Patriots won yesterday. Now, that's one of the more shocking outcomes. But today, well, let's just say that Deshaun Watson's getting absolutely crushed, and a lot of people are asking this question. I asked it online yesterday. Actually, I didn't ask it. It was more of a statement. I think it's exactly where we're at now. That Deshaun Watson's trade and his contract is the worst in the history of football. I really believe that. I understand the Herschel Walker trade is all-time bad. The Russell Wilson trade with the Broncos is all-time bad. By the way, Justin Fields started yesterday, and he won a ball game, right, wrong, or indifferent. So, CBS jumped out there. Watson is at the center of the struggle bus, throwing for 169 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you, I do believe Dallas's defense is going to be great under Mike Zimmer. I believe that. Hard-nosed, going to take the ball away, going to get after the quarterback. That's a thing, all right? But the problem with all this is there's plenty of data now when it comes to Deshaun Watson and the Cleveland Browns. All right, we're 13 games in, folks, and it's amazing, frankly, that he's got 8 victories. And I think you're going to end up losing a good head coach in Kevin Stefanski over this quarterback. Alex Van Pelt already lost his job. All right, and keep in mind, as we're talking about this, because we're going to bring up Baker, and we're going to talk about Baker, Joe Flacco signed with the Colts for $4.5 million. I mean, really? Deshaun Watson's a $72.935 million cap hit for the next 2 years. It's awful. When digging into some next-level numbers on Watson's afternoon, the picture they paint is nauseating. Per CBS Sports' Zach Perles, Watson is the only quarterback out of 1,752 occurrences of a quarterback throwing at least 10 passes, 15 or more yards downfield, that he did not complete a single one of those throws. I mean, advanced passing numbers. 0 for 10 on passes 15 or more air yards. 0 for 4 on passes of 20 or more air yards. 3 for 12 when throwing under pressure for 10 yards. 2 of 9 passing for 13 yards in addition to 3 sacks when blitzed. Yikes. Okay, and his contract was $230 million. It doesn't matter. It's a disaster. And I can tell you right now, look, everybody's crying about Dak's contract, and I'm no Cowboys fan, but, you know, that's market value now, right? And Dak's he's gonna at least be good in the regular season, and this Cowboys team will make the playoffs. So all the while that was happening, Baker Mayfield did the following, folks. When everything was said and done, he completed 24 of 30 passes for 289, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he picked up 21 yards on the ground. Even though he's no longer with the Browns, it's great to see him figuring out things and finding himself again. He's done nothing but kill it last year and the first game this year. During the NFL offseason, Mayfield was rewarded for his quality of his 2023 campaign with a 3-year, $100 million contract. I mean, even Baker's contract by quarterback standards is a bargain at this point. This Watson thing is a disaster. It is a disaster. Barstool put this up yesterday. Browns fans were realizing how much time they got left on Deshaun Watson's contract. This is, of course, one of the famous scenes from The Sopranos where Tony Soprano was losing his shit right here. My dog doesn't even like this. My dog's going nuts over this. Yeah, look at that. That's where he starts fogging out and he's going to fall over. Oh, man down. In this case, Browns fans down. Meanwhile, Baker's living his best life with a good franchise in beautiful Florida weather. You know, the one thing I'll say, Cleveland Browns fans are great fans. They are. So's Bucs fans. But they're great football fans. This sucks on every level, and it is Jimmy Haslam's fault. It's Jimmy Haslam's fault. You got to remember, Deshaun took himself out of the running to go to Cleveland. The trade is one thing. We've seen everything that Houston has gotten back. That's awful. It's the contract that is the most crippling part about all this. Deshaun Watson soon is a LinkedIn jersey. Number 14, yeah. Yeah, they're getting exactly what they deserve. It is bad. Watson hasn't looked the same since the Houston days when he had the city wrapped around his finger. Are we sure that was his finger? Yikes. I mean, look, and now on top of it, you got to deal with that. You know, the scumbag part of all this. Seriously. They can't cut him unless they want to take $100+ million cap hit. Honestly, I will give Sean Payton credit for one thing. He didn't blink when it came to Russell Wilson. He cut his ass. Worst contract ever? ? Watson just needs to retire and just sit on the cash. He's awful. He's bad, folks. He's really, really, really bad. Browns fans must be keeping a close eye on Deshaun Watson's contract situation. It's all about the anticipation and speculation when it comes to big moves in the NFL. Yeah, they're watching it day by day in a slow death. Cursed franchise. You know, you got Saints fans celebrating the fact that they missed out on him. Honestly, I quit. Pain. It's true. There's a fan crying right there. Laughing my ass off. No, I mean, it's bad. It is bad. And there's people that still make an excuse. I mean, he played arguably the top defense. Look at this. Stop that nonsense. Look, he went 5-1 last year, and he wasn't good last year. The team, the roster is really good in Cleveland. It is a good team. And I will tell you, before the season, you guys may have heard it, I only made a few Deshaun Watson videos, a few Browns videos during the offseason, but in them, one of them was them signing Jameis Winston. And I said, it won't shock me if he's the starting quarterback by week 8. Yeah, you can't cut Watson, but you can sure bench his ass. I mean, seriously, you can bench him. And keep in mind, this guy did not have enough confidence in himself and testicular fortitude in himself to allow Joe Flacco to stay on this team as the backup. Because he didn't want to hear the fans calling for Joe Flacco. Why? They should have been banging the drum for Jameis Winston. Jameis may throw 1,000,000 interceptions. But you know what Jameis will do? He will also throw touchdowns, and he will move the ball up and down that field. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's a disaster. Baker Mayfield looks like a world beater right now. It's a great story, by the way. The Baker Mayfield thing is a great story. But Jimmy Haslam, him, David Tepper, they got to be the two worst NFL owners in it. That's saying a lot. I mean, there's all kinds of candidates for that, but David Tepper, by the way, another guy that wanted Deshaun Watson real bad. What does that tell you? Haslam, Tepper, I mean, come on. Woody Johnson is in the running there, too. We'll find out tonight how big of a disaster that is. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.